And welcome back to ThroBak Guitar Lounge Podcast number 26.
It already feels like 1,000.
Hey, before we get started, this is a special edition because we're going to do a special Guitargument section. It's going to be a lightning round, multiple questions, quick answer. We're going to see how that's going to go. We're going to switch it up a little bit.
This is not the typical Guitargument. This is a lightning round where you have a list of guitar topics sure to entertain all. Cause
inform.
Deep discussion, entertaining to all.
Yes.
In the Guitargument today. Okay. Should we go straight to the ThroBak Mailbox here, Matthew?
Let's get into the show.
Okay, so again, with the ThroBak Mailbox, we have questions, comments from customers, comments of viewers, things from previous episodes. But so we've got a couple here. So we had I have a customer that had a question about a humbucker neck pickup for a he has this vintage 64 Telecaster, and he was never pleased with the setup. It had been modified once upon a time to have a neck humbucker, and he wanted our recommendation, and I recommended our new SteelHead 57 SteelHead pickup. Mm-hmm. And I had a realization with this that we need to have a version of this pickup specifically for Telecaster players, because part of the intent of this of the 57 SteelHead pickups was to have a low output pickup that clear enough, balanced as well with a Telecaster if you have a humbucker single coil Telecaster setup. So we will have we're going to add to the website a variation of the 57 SteelHead pickup that we will call the 57 SteelHead T, that will already have a short leg base plate for use in a Telecaster, and will also have 3 conductor wires as standard rather than braided, because the braided wire will have a tendency to ground out in the control cavity of a Telecaster. You can tape the whole braided wire up, but it's just a hassle. So look for that in the future. But as far as this customer coming in, contacting us with a setup for his 64 Telecaster that he wanted to kind of create the best single coil humbucker setup for it, we recommended our Broadcaster A3 Classic bridge pickup.
Right. And
the 57 SteelHead T, which also has our long dry Alnico 2. The 57 SteelHead comes with Alnico 4 standard, but the special variation of Alnico 2 we have has a sort of a brightness that works well in the neck pickup of a Telecaster. So anyway, he installed them, and I also sent him a wiring diagram that would allow for a stacked 500K, 250K volume pot, so that the neck humbucker sees 500K, bridge sees 250, and I've kind of worked out a circuit that works really well for our test guitar, which is actually that one right there with that setup. We'll be offering that also. And he called today and said he loved it, and it had he had taken the vintage electronics out of his guitar and saved them, but it turned his vintage guitar that he loved but was never really pleased with entirely with the humbucker Telecaster bridge setup into one that he is really happy with. So that is the ThroBak Mailbox info there.
We made his day.
We did. I was a little concerned that maybe we were giving him too big of a task by giving him the information about the stacked volume pot and all that. But he pulled it off, and he said it worked great. So that was very nice, satisfying to hear that. Another related to the 57 SteelHead is we've had quite a few people buy them, but we've had another request for to explain the difference between the standard 8 long Alnico 4 and the 57 Steelhead set and the long Alnico 2, long dry Alnico 2. And so we are going to do a playing demonstration right now to demonstrate that. And we'll have a dedicated video to this where we'll get all sorts of info about the 57 Steelhead set. But for this episode of the podcast, we'll just play it.
Let your ears do the talking.
Yeah, so let's set that up right now. Here, let's get drum roll. Okay, so we've got the we're going to play the 57 Steelhead with long Alnico 4 first. Oh, that's Matthew. There's me. This guitar has the 57 Steelhead with the long Alnico 4. And I'll play clean for a little bit, and then I'll play it with a little bit of dirt, and then we'll switch guitars to the Alnico 2 set, and we'll you can hear the difference, and we'll discuss briefly after that. Okay, let me mute our mics here, and we'll get the purest sound for the viewers without any microphone bleed. Oh. Okay, we will switch to the long, dry Alnico 2 set. Be right back. Okay, we're back with the switch guitars to this other one with the 57 Steelhead pickups with the long, dry Alnico 2. And we'll start with clean again right now. Okay. That is the long dry Alnico 2. Matthew, do you have thoughts?
I think you could really, to my ear, when we were playing, you really hear the difference, especially when you put a little bit of overdrive with the Alnico 2.
It's crunchier.
It is definitely crunchier.
It's crunchier. So we played this in band practice this week.
Mm-hmm.
I played them. You played them too.
Yep.
And our conclusion was the long Alnico 4, it was very good note definition.
Yep.
And kind of individual string to string note clarity.
Mm-hmm.
The long dry Alnico 2 variation, still very good clarity, but you have a little bit of a treble edge, crunch that kind of bridges the individual notes, and you also have a little higher perceived output from the with the Alnico 2, the long dry Alnico 2, because, well, actually, I'm not even sure why, because the strength of the magnet is the same, but it's just a bit, I think maybe the little extra crunchiness to it you perceive as maybe a higher output or a little, it's like it's a little bit of kind of a distorted edge to it that I think maybe you associate with a little higher output. But
my impression listening to them during band practice, because I wasn't playing guitar, I was playing bass.
Well, you played some of them afterwards.
Afterwards, I did.
Yeah.
But when we were playing them, listening to them rather, I liked the long A2 better. But when I was playing them, I liked the long A4 better. I thought it was. I just liked the way the especially the neck pickup. I liked the way that you just could hear the notes, and the A2 was. It definitely gave you that sort of that kind of chunky kind of humbucker sound, especially when you're doing things that even just a kind of a rhythm type thing. Mm-hmm. They're both very impressive, but it's interesting to listen to them and then play them.
Yeah, they both work really well, but they both have a different character that that kind of they don't really duplicate the same thing.
No,
it's surprising how distinct the two are, just but with that magnet change. And again, the long Alnico 2, the long dry Alnico 2 is a special Alnico 2 for us. Everything we have is custom made for us, but the long dry Alnico 2 is a distinctly different formulation from the Alnico 2 that we use for SLE 101, KZ 115, at a custom, and the neck pickup for the DT 102. So these have a little bit more upper mid kind of content to them than the other long Alnico 2 we has, and the low end's is maybe a little bit thicker with the Arnold Alnico 2 we use, and this is a Thomas and Skinner variation that we had made that maybe is a little brighter on the low end, which is why it works really well in a Telecaster neck position, which is why that's what we'll offer for the this magnet with the 57 SteelHead T variation. Okay, let's put this. I'll put these away, and we will get back. We will go to the.
There's one other item.
Or there, you've got one other item for the ThroBak mailbox. Okay, let's put these away. This one last mailbox item.
One last mailbox item. So we're 5 days after the release of episode number 25 of the ThroBak Guitar Lounge Podcast, and some naysayers believe that we have gone astray of the YouTube algorithm gods because we've only had
the last episode.
We have 476 viewers as when I checked it this morning. We usually
it was a flop.
Well, you would think.
And it was the Guitar Face episode. Right there. There's the thumbnail.
But
and that's Matthew on the right.
I want to put
Did you scare viewers away?
I hope not. But I want to put my personal plea out for people to circle back, take a look at it, because I want you to hear some of these reviews from this episode, number 25. So if you missed it, go back and look at it.
Matthew, that is Matthew. Are you going to explain your look to them?
Well, I was playing an alter ego. This was a character for Halloween. His name was Donnie Millsap. He was an old roadie.
He's even got food in his teeth.
Yeah, I got food in my teeth.
He's got the whole roadie thing down. They're too busy to brush your teeth.
Too busy, can't do that. So anyway, some of the reviews from this episode. These are actual reviews. You can see the comments online. Best episode ever.
It's true. That's up there.
Second comment was never shave that mustache off.
It's so believable. You wouldn't know that it's fake.
And the last one was Matthew. You pulled that off extremely well. You can literally go out on the road in a rock band and do quite well. So this is probably somebody
saying something
who must know what they're talking about. So I take it for what it's worth. But
okay, that's so maybe people will see this. There's some sort of a cosmic conspiracy that kept people from watching last week, and they're going to make up for it this week.
That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, on to industry insights.
Okay, so the industry insights this week are, this is now the beginning of the Black Friday sales, even though it's not Black Friday.
3 weeks from now.
It's already hitting the scene.
Yep. It's going to be honest.
We're getting emails, and with those emails, of course, starts questions for ThroBak. Do we do a Black Friday sale? So every year, we only do one sale a year. Mm-hmm. And that sale is, we always put at least one set of pickups, usually just one set of pickups on sale for 20% off. And some years we'll put a pedal for 20% off as well. This year, I'm thinking I will do a P.A.F. style set, a pedal, and I think I'm going to do the Strange Master, just so you know. And maybe a Telecaster style set. So, but if viewers and listeners have a suggestion as to what they would prefer for a pickup in those categories, leave it in the comments. But as far as sales go for ThroBak, this is the one sale a year that we do. And these items will be 20% off, but it's just these select items, just so you know, right? So we don't do a blanket thing where we do the whole website. We don't do anything like that. We just pick a few select items and give a nice price break on them. And two, this kind of reminds me of what I think about every year with Black Friday sales. The reality is that after Christmas, in January, you've got NAMM. Mm-hmm. And after NAMM, you've got the price increases associated with a big show like that. So the price increases are really a reality of running the business. Any business will have a price increase. Everybody will have a price increase. So this is often your best chance to get a good deal on gear, but also a good deal with knowing that, like, prices are about to go up. So I often go shopping with that in mind. Mm-hmm. So do you have a list of things you want, Matthew?
I have a list, but they're very they're small ticket items, but things that I do need. So I'm not looking for.
Tonex has a little headphone amp that I saw today. I think that was released today, and it was $149. I'm kind of curious about that. Mm-hmm. I did get one of those Waza ones, but I found it sounded good, but I found it was like making my head hurt. It's heavy enough that it give me a neck ache.
Wow.
And it didn't seem particularly heavy, but it was heavy enough. So maybe that sounds like a possible Christmas item. Okay, is there more with the industry insights?
The only thing I could
go ahead. Yeah, and I remember one now.
You remember one?
Yeah, but I think you're going to say
one next. Well, the industry one was, I'm sure people who watch this channel are well aware of what's transpired with G&L, but the word on the street is that they were literally throwing stuff in the dumpster that came out of the G&L factory.
Yes.
And some people.
I've heard. I'd
like to know the truth.
I've heard more draconian things like that. They were throwing like Leo Fender stuff away. That seems really unlikely to me. But I guess if you got the wrong people clearing it out, they might just think, "What's all this crap? It's all dusty." His time capsule of an office.
There is Fullerton. The city of Fullerton has, I believe, a permanent exhibit at the sort of local museum to Leo Fender, and you would think that somebody would say, "Hey, come on over here and go through stuff that you might want to take."
Oh, that's right. Just sort of this kind of a historical.
But the other sad fact is that I've seen enough stories where people want to get in and get out quickly, and they will they don't care. Like they'll trash stuff that and it's. So things get destroyed quickly.
Phil McKnight last week had a lot of info about this. I anecdotally heard from a guitar pickup maker competitor friend of mine who had actually toured the facility at G&L before, that he wanted to know what happened to the winding machines over there, because they did have automated winding machines that this friend of mine was interested in. And he's like, what happened to those? And he had heard that there was a company in Nashville that drove down there to take everything that was discarded. And I assume some of those machines would be it. And so my experience with kind of similar experience I had with this sort of thing is that, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, the guys that make our guitar strings are a father-son operation that make. And what they really do is they make string winding machines, and Michigan has a history, and not surprisingly, with Gibson here, but also Gibson made strings. Then Dean Markley made strings here in Vicksburg. There's GHS in Battle Creek, so there's a little bit of a industry that's still here that was built up to supply Gibson and now, places like GHS and once upon a time Dean Markley. But this machine shop that makes our strings made some of the string machines that were in the Dean Markley facility in Vicksburg. And they told me, they said, hey, Dean Markley has sold the brand, and they're clearing out the Vicksburg facility, string winding facility. And if you're interested in a string winding machine, I can tell you where to go look at them. So the story I was told was that Dean Markley, in the state it was when it was in Vicksburg, was really the company was really an investment vehicle for a group of realtors. These were not guitar players, but they had purchased Dean Markley long ago, and the history of Dean Markley, I think, started with I forgot the name of the company, but it was a company associated with Gibson that made strings. And the after they sold the brand of Dean Markley, the investors wanted the building empty, the parking lot repaved, so that they could sell the building. Because at that point, the value that they had left was the building, and all of the equipment within it for making strings wasn't going to be shipped to the place that owned the brand. Now it was just so much stuff to clear out of the building before they sold it. So the place I went to look at that had cleared the string winding machines out of the building was literally the guy they hired to pave the parking lot. And he had a whole lot of very machines that I think if you bought new today would be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Was he given those machines? Like, take them?
They literally said, take them.
Let's get rid of them.
And he didn't even know really what they were for. He had a vague, he knew that they were to make strings. But he was like, okay, I'll take them off your hands. The guy that repaved the parking lot for the investors in Dean Markley now had all of these string winding machines that they were selling for pennies on the dollars. I think I could have gotten one for like $2,000, and I could have made a full sort of string winding facility, but for not a lot of money. I'm sure they were willing to bargain if you took it all off their hands.
Yeah.
But it was literally the dudes that paved the parking lot who are now getting rid of these machines. And so I think, I have a suspicion that they may have ended up in Nashville, and that Stringjoy may have. I saw some videos of Stringjoy, and it looked like it might be the same machines to me. And some of those machines were old Gibson machines that actually had Gibson tags on them. They had, so like kind of from a historical standpoint, they were kind of historically interesting machines. One was a machine that was, I actually showed it to the guys that make our strings, the picture of it, and they thought it was probably one of the first automated string ball end machines that Gibson had custom made for them. It had a Gibson tag on it, and it just put the little brass ball in the end of the strings. But all of that stuff, was just so much junk. And it sounds like that's what's happened with this Fender deal. Probably. It's a problem to be taken care of, and taking care of it is to get the stuff out,
to pitch it
out of the building. And if it's pitching it, I don't know. We don't really know the fate of it, but it sounds like from multiple accounts that's kind of what happened, which is a shame. But hopefully someone gets the stuff, and it has a purpose at that point. Okay,
finds a new home.
Yeah. And the friend of mine wanted to know about some of the automated pick-a winding machines they had that he thought were Korean made and would do multiple bobbins at a time and computerized, and would be great for him to have, but who knows what happened to that. Someone knows. The question is whether or not it's a junkyard. Okay. All right. So are we going to go on to the Guitargument, Matthew? Is there more that you had to add to the industry insights?
That's all I had for today.
Okay. This will be the lightning round Guitargument. And
multiple topics, questions. Maybe
you have a list there. I don't know what these questions are going to be.
Right.
And we're just going to have to you're going to ask me. We're going to have to react to them.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. Let's see. We got 5 minutes
here. Put the timer on.
Sure. Right now, 5.
Okay.
Go.
Better upgrade first. Pickups or pots?
Oh, pickups.
Definitely.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Now it's the more expensive upgrade, but I think that's going to have an immediate impact. But the second upgrade is if you've got the wrong value pots. It's a good question. If you've got the wrong value pots, you're going to your pickups are not going to be optimized. Because you got the wrong value pots. I mean, this is a case with a lot of Gibson standards that when they were using 300K pots for those, that you don't have the full treble response out of the guitar with the 300K because it should be 500K, which is consequently why we sell a fair amount of harnesses for people that want to switch that out. But pickups, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it pays to be informed of of what the difference is between the different values in the pots. But
if you have the wrong value, the pots are an important change. Yeah. If you have I tell people this, if they've already got 500K pots, if they're the question will often be, we're going to get I'm going to get a set of ThroBak SLE 101s for my Les Paul. And then the question is, well, if it's already got 500K pots and 50s wiring, should they switch it out to a ThroBak harness? And I tell them no. I say, if you want to kind of marginally tweak the treble response up, it'll help. Our harness will help. But wait until you put the pickups in to switch that. Now, a lot of guys do it, but it'll be a much more dramatic change from 300 to 500K than it will be from 500K to our pots, which are kind of with a 20% tolerance falling above 500K, which is the 50-60 spec. Okay, next.
Should big brands like Gibson or Fender ever release AI-designed guitars?
AI-designed guitars?
Can you imagine?
Actually, I can't imagine. Well, you would add, who knows? Yeah, maybe. Let's just say AI got really good, and you'd say, here's the line, the Fender line. Here's the Gibson line from the 50s. This is, let's just say you said AI. You described to AI, these are our biggest sellers. They're from this era. They have these, analyze them to see what common design elements they have.
Come up with something new.
Come up with something new that would appeal to the customers of these, our best sellers. It'd be interesting to see what it came up with.
I wonder if it would be like a typical AI. It would be interesting.
Well, it's sort of like, that's sort of like what Fano's done, right?
In a way, yeah.
But he's not AI.
No.
But if AI could do that, it would be interesting to see what it would come up with. I mean,
to me, of the newer guitar designs, the Music Man St. Vincent signature model, I thought was the most interesting.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. It is interesting.
New design, but yeah,
and it's totally unique.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Okay, is John Mayer today's heir to Stevie Ray Vaughan, or a tone snob influencer in disguise?
Well, that's awfully mean, isn't it?
I know. I didn't come up with that.
Oh, I don't. I don't think you can make an argument that he's a tone snob, because he's like well known for taking for like using gear that was like dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. Like I've got this little TS. Is it a TS? It's 9. A tube. It's this little tube screamer that I think I bought new for like $30 from Musician's Friend when they were closing it out years ago.
And it is an Ibanez pedal.
He used it. So now everybody wants one, but that's not his fault, is it? I mean,
I do think like when I didn't really pay attention to John Mayer when he was doing his acoustic thing and when all the girls loved him, but then he started getting into the blues stuff and the John Mayer trio. I was like, oh, he is definitely trying to sort of like position himself as the next, guitar heir.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's different from someone like Stevie Ray Vaughan in that he's obviously very good at a wide range of stuff.
Yeah.
And Stevie Ray Vaughan has a very defined. Oh, there's our beeper. He has a very defined, channel of influence and musical direction.
I got a kick out of. I saw John Mayer open up for Zach Bryan in September at Michigan Stadium, and I caught it on tape. I heard the guy say it, but I was recording a little bit of it, and he was about to do the solo in one of the songs, and then a couple of people down from me said, "We're about to get mayored," and he went into this pretty elaborate solo, so it was kind of fun. We're going to the cool down.
Well, we can continue as much as you want to with the.
Well, I've got some interesting
ones.
We're
38 minutes, so feel free to stretch it out.
I've got some good ones here that are kind of interesting. Will Gen Z save the electric guitar or let it fade into nostalgia?
Oh, that's a scary question, isn't it?
It is a little scary.
I don't know,
because it's up in the air right now. I think. It's not.
It's certainly changed away. It's certainly drifted away from being the solo instrument that
defined a
generation, and also
multiple generations.
Was like, I don't know. It was, the stereotype was that the bad boy played the guitar and got the girls. I mean, that's kind of a silly stereotype, but.
Well, it's true. A lot of players would tell you that. Why did you start playing?
And that was like the way it was presented in bands,
right?
So and that does not seem to be the. that it seems that that does not seem to be the approach for getting girls for that generation, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I've said it before, it's the harmless male, right?
Is that what it is?
I think. I don't know. But it's like the sort of like the boastful guitar dude that's like, aggressively playing the guitar. It doesn't seem.
Well, I've got.
It doesn't have the gravitas it did, does it?
My kids. I've got 2 daughters. My oldest will play the acoustic guitar, and she'll play a little bit of the electric, but she is musical. She can sing very well. It's a hell of a
guitar, though.
Well, no. She plays the Gibson J45 and the Heritage acoustic too. She has a kind of unique approach when she plays, and she has some. She can read music. She played piano. She can sing well and everything. So she's not really interested in electric guitars.
Yeah, well, think about it though. The pop. What's the closest sort of pop reference for guitar right now, which is like associated with a megastar?
Well, Taylor Swift. I see.
Taylor Swift, and who's the redheaded guy?
Oh, Ed
plays
Sheeran.
A little guitar. Yeah, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. It's not unfair to say that, right?
No. But they're approachable. I mean, Ed Sheeran had this famous for that video where he says, "I can play any song in like 3 chords or 4 chords," and he'll just like use the same chords and just sing on top of it.
Yeah. So what would be the most recent band that has like a very prominent guitar sound that you can think of? Maroon 5. That's not really a big thing now. Like we're probably I'm probably so out of touch with this anyway that I can't even say with any sort of authority.
Yeah, no, I will check new music release Fridays on Spotify, and it's like I don't know who these people are. I try to keep up with it a little bit, but it's like, do you know?
Well, okay, I guess jam bands would be it.
Yeah.
It's the jam band is the thing.
Yeah.
But as our Guitar Face episode last week is, the guitar face of the jam band is smiling.
It's smiling. They all smile. They're happy.
They're happy. There's no aggressive dude playing. Not that it has to be, but I mean, it's different, isn't it?
Well,
that's why I think the harmless male is what happened.
But watch your award shows and watch the music shows. It's performance. Like you'll have the guitar player. Like, did she do the Super Bowl? And you hardly saw Nuno Bettencourt. I mean, he was hardly featured.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's the performance.
Yeah.
It's dancers and a lot of jazz, but they're not really putting any focus on the band members.
Wow,
they're kind of waiting.
Yeah, when you think about that, that's kind of amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Should I be depressed?
Well, what's interesting, what I find interesting about it is like it can change like that. Something could pop up.
That's true. You would think so. And the theory that music goes in cycles, it's like we play blues. Is any variation of that going to come back?
Well, it's been called dead,
Yeah,
multiple times. So I would say, yeah, it'll.
You know what I found interesting actually when I was. I think I had told you before that I've been getting Facebook notifications because you go there a few times. I usually stay away from Facebook because it just seems like one other thing to do. But I got it. You go there a few times. Now they start feeding you clips and stuff. And there were a couple from local bands here that were younger. And I thought what I thought was odd about it was like totally unmovable as far as like you couldn't coax a dance out of it. You know what I mean? Like you can dance to like upbeat blues. You can dance to rock. You can dance to like the sort of like aspect of it being something that is kind of a group activity. A lot of it's kind of been sucked out of it unless it's like a techno drone music or something. The sort of people playing instruments as a way to get a crowd going, like in sort of a dance mode, seems like it's kind of faded away. Is that my imagination? I don't know.
No, but when you said that, something came to mind. They always put on the Coachella Festival on YouTube, and there's 3 or 4 stages. If you go through those channels, it'll be on YouTube. You can click through them. There's always an indoor kind of rave, area, and that'll be packed, and it'll be just one person up there with a couple of turntables, and that will be huge.
Like I can't think of any bands where you're like thinking like, oh, the musicians themselves feel moved to like kind of perform to their music, with their music in terms of like dance, not even dance move, just sort of like moving in time to the music in a way that's kind of evokes that with the audience in a, hey, dance too, get into it. It seems much tamer. It's sort of instrumentally. Okay. Is there more? Let's see.
There's more, but
have we exhausted the cool down?
I think maybe, yeah.
All right. Let's go on now to Rorschach Riffs, Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get a. You want a guitar?
I would like.
Okay.
That Telecaster up on the wall. And I hear that you promised earlier. Said if you got any wrong, this would come home with me. Is that what you said?
No, I did not say that.
I'm almost positive you said that. Said if I get even one wrong, it's yours.
Wait, no, that you got the bass amp.
Oh, can't have that. That's not good.
We get that. That's guitar right there. Here, let me unmute you. I think this is you. Can you make a noise there? That's it. Okay. Okay, now so the I and the audience will interpret your 4 riffs played in rapid succession, and we will determine what you were trying to what the song. Excuse me. What the song, famous song, well-known song, Matthew, right?
4 well-known songs, yep.
Associated with this riff. Okay.
You want to put the guitar cam on? Should I hit this?
Oh, that's right. Hold on.
Oh, no,
okay, you want a little dirt there.
Let's
see. Here. You are ready to riff.
And just so everybody knows, this is what we're playing for today.
Oh, yeah. Your audience, everybody in the audience that wins gets one, right? No. Okay, well, let's describe the guitar, Matthew. This is a
70th anniversary broadcaster. Wait a minute, you want to see the headstock? There you go.
But it is equipped with ThroBak Nocaster A3 Classic pickups,
right.
Neck and bridge pickups. Sounds awesome. I've gigged with it. It's one of my favorite guitars.
Nice and lightweight. Was it 7.5, 7.4?
Yep, so I think it's about 7.5. I think it's like 7 pounds 6 ounces. I think that's right. And it has these things have a narrow, fairly narrow nut, but kind of like chunky enough neck that it doesn't feel like you're playing a toothpick.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's nice. I like those.
I remember playing I think it was a Nocaster Custom Shop one. They had it Rainbow Music here, and it had a baseball neck. It was massive.
Yeah, actually, I bought one of those and returned it long ago. Yeah.
Was it a custom shop? Was it?
It was. Yeah, and that's I literally thought, like, to me it felt like the neck at the nut was almost thicker than it was at the body. I don't think it was,
but it felt like that.
It felt like that.
Did it just hurt your hand playing?
It just felt weird.
And
I'm sure some people love that, and I don't mind the kind of chunkier neck. But
did you have it just for
seemed out of balance?
A couple of days or something, or how long did you have it? Yeah.
Actually, I purchased it. It arrived in the winter.
Oh boy!
These had a nitro finish.
Oh boy!
It
was left outside.
I left it, and no, it came inside. I knew you're not supposed to open it. I thought I had given it enough time, and I opened the case, and there was already a little crack, like coming from one of these screws here.
Right.
But I swear I think it grew a little more when I opened the case.
So it didn't.
And it wasn't supposed to be relic. It didn't like to go everywhere, but it had one that was already started right here, and I think it like crept a little bit as the case was open. It didn't like have frost on it, but it was still kind of cool to the touch.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit. Sorry, I said that word. But I that along with the neck was like, I can't have this. I mean, I do. In fairness, I do think it, like shipment had already done something to the finish on it, but yeah.
Okay.
But the lesson of that is you really do want these things to fully acclimate. I thought I'd given it enough time, but
Give it a full day or less than a full day?
oh, I think it was very cold when I got it, but I think maybe like 8 hours.
Mm.
But yeah, I think you definitely want to do overnight.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the box itself kind of insulates it, doesn't it? I guess. Okay. All right. You're set up there. Okay. Start riffing. Okay. 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 I know what I know what that is. Oh. All right. That's 4.
That is 4.
That is 4.
You got them?
I think I know 2. 2 for sure. Do them again. Oh, you play more. Okay, now
sorry.
I know it. You've given it away.
What?
You're not playing it right.
Have I just played myself out of a new guitar?
I think
Damn
maybe
it. Happened again.
it's a facsimile of the riff, but it's
I was
identifiable.
under pressure this morning. I was like, wait a minute, I think I can come up with a Rorschach riff.
I commend you because I find it a little unnerving to do these. So go ahead.
So
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. I do think I know that. If that's it's just did it.
that's it.
I think I know that. Okay, hold on.
I thought about that one and I said, wait a minute.
Yeah, it
And
sounds
that's not-
like a mistake, but it's apparently a riff.
I believe it's an important riff,
It's
and it's not the beginning of the song.
and
which-
it's strangely identifiable.
yeah, I think it's in
Okay.
it's in people's brains.
What is the song here?
And I think
I know the
that-
band.
I think that's just the number one song from
oh,
that
yeah.
band on Spotify. Like when you go to their list of top songs, that's the number one song.
Okay. The last one.
That's right.
Okay, it has the angst-ridden quality of a band I'm certain I know. I know the name. But I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song. Okay.
Remember when you were young?
Yeah, I still don't know the name. I know the band though. Okay, you want to go through them one more time for the viewers?
For the viewers at home?
That's one. Okay. Okay. I will tell you what I think. Okay.
All right.
The first, which I think you're not playing quite right, is "Life's Been Good to Me"
Life's been
so
good.
far, or is it "Life's Been Good"? Joe Walsh.
It's Joe Walsh. I like.
Da, 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 da,
I
da, 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 da.
think it's Life's been good, isn't it? I just picture him under the water in that album cover shot where he's in the pool. He's
Yeah, that's right. Second one is "Barracuda" by Heart.
correct.
Okay. Third one, "The Little Blip." Play it. That's The Clash. Should I say or should I go? Yeah.
It's kind of
The
fun.
last one is Pink Floyd, but I don't know the song. I'm sure I've heard it.
It's the homage to Syd Barrett. Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's all of them.
That's all I can do.
That's all. Okay. Let's put the guitar away.
Do I get to take it home?
No. But here, I'll play what I think.
Oh yeah, play that.
Let's see.
You need to
Let's
pick.
see.
Here, fix the camera.
Let's see. No, that's
you don't want me.
Okay.
That's better. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's put this away.
That sounded good.
Musical Musings next for you, man.
Okay.
You're going to muse musical.
I think it must be. I'm going to ask for audience participation and help on this one because I'm doing that quite a bit today. I noticed, so maybe that's the theme of the show.
Okay.
I need some input from the viewers. So
first, you had to beg them to watch
to go back and watch the last episode.
Watch the Guitar Face episode. Now you got some other requests.
I have another request. I need their advice on whether I should pony up hundreds of dollars, but not maybe 1,000, unless they want to do a GoFundMe page. But should I pony up money and go see Rush in August of 2026
are these
Detroit?
The American dollars or Canadian?
American dollars.
What's the exchange rate right now?
It's terrible. I think I don't know. I'm sure it's the Canadian dollar.
And you are a dual citizen. Mm-hmm. You're Canadian
right. and American.
A citizen of the United States of America.
That's what comes first, though. Because I'm living here.
Okay,
but I was born in Canada, and Canada that's the American coming into my accent.
That's the Michigan accent creeping in.
Yeah, it's taking over. But that
was awfully mean of you to say.
As a kid of the 70s,
as a Canadian,
what do you mean?
Making fun of the American accent.
Well, I'm sorry.
If you're Canadian, you're not supposed to be nicer.
If I'm a Canadian, you have to apologize profusely. But as a child of the 70s, I had older brothers, and
they were cruel. So you've been
they were Rush fans. Well, of course they were cruel. That goes without saying. But you had to be tough. This is how people. You had to get by.
Okay.
But anyway, Rush was everywhere, and you listened to it, and I didn't go to my first concert until 94, I think. I didn't see them. But
how was it manifest? Did it manifest itself in Canada that Rush was everywhere? Were there like action figures?
At that time, there weren't action figures.
Were they on cereal boxes?
They weren't on cereal boxes, but they would be on
stickers?
TV.
It was T-shirts, wasn't it?
T-shirts, concerts,
hats. Or were there hats or no?
Oh, probably, but
I don't remember. My brother did have a Rush T-shirt.
Definitely T-shirts because my brother
that one, whichever that one is.
That's from the 2112, I think.
Okay,
but I think one of the first big concerts my older brother ever went to was Rush when he was 16 or something. So I think the Farewell to Kings tour. I think Maple Leaf Gardens. I think it was the first one that he went to. But then and my other brother went to some shows in the 80s.
Okay, you're going to beg for money. You're begging for you're going to beg for money for viewers. Is that it?
I saw Rush in 2015 at their R40 tour, which ended up being the final tour.
And that wasn't enough.
Well, no, it wasn't enough. I'm just saying. Back then, the ticket prices were between like $38 and $100 and
what do you think you paid?
$113. I think I paid in the mid range. I think I paid like $60, $65, $70, something like that for a ticket. Now they're looking for between $174 and $838 for the tickets in Detroit.
Oh.
So I'm thinking I want to ask people, should I go?
You're going to bring me?
Well, if we can work this out as a business arrangement, maybe we can.
Okay, so
we can have free. If we got ticket. If we could sell some pickups to some.
You can't
Alex
decide
Lifeson.
if you should pony up for the Rush ticket prices.
Yeah, I mean they're. It is what it is. They haven't toured in 11 years, and ticket prices have gone, way up. So
now doesn't Rush have a song called "The Working Man"?
That's one of their earliest.
And
big
why? How on earth could they have a song called "The Working Man" and have $800 tickets?
I think they've got some explaining to do. I think maybe all those working men in the 70s are now, did they all win the lottery and are now?
Well, maybe they're doing well in their retirement.
Maybe.
The working man. No.
Or they're going to spend their children's inheritance.
So are you going to, are you like, actually like, is there something the audience can do for you? Or they just want their opinion as to whether or not?
Yeah, I don't want any money.
You don't.
I just want their opinion. Do you think I should?
Well, I thought maybe you had a slush fund already established for the guitar, and that you were going to like skim off of that.
I've got to do an update on the guitar. I have not received one penny for the guitar.
Maybe you can make a plea to Rush for the guitar and give them a deal if they give you tickets. Give them special access.
We could do a shop tour, maybe.
Sure.
If they're on their way to Chicago, they could just come to Grand Rapids.
That's right. That's right.
On their way. I don't know which way they're going.
Yeah, and they will just you get some free tickets out of that. That seems reasonable.
That seemed like maybe a deal.
Okay, well, give Matthew your
give me your honest opinion.
Honest opinion on that. Okay, is that it for your musings, Matthew?
Oh, the only other thing I wanted to say is today is the birthday of Bonnie Raitt. She was born this day in 1949.
Well, how old is she?
I believe she'll turn 76 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think she came through Grand Rapids not too far back to go. I think she played.
Really? Where did she play?
I think Meyer Gardens.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Bonnie Raitt?
No, I don't believe
my brother has, but he saw them, I think, at Harpo's when he was in.
Oh, really? Way back
in the 80s when he was a student at U of M.
That's in Ann Arbor, Harpo's.
I think it's. I don't know if it's still there.
It's
sort of just outside. I think near the highway. Yeah.
Interesting.
I believe he saw him there. Her there. Yeah. What was she kind of hit? Oh,
well, she really hit the big time with the Nick of Time album. That was at 88, 89.
Yeah, no, in the 80s she had.
Did she have some hits then?
She was one of the ones that had a music video.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And she had a cover of "Come Back." I think, was that it? Come back, da 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 da.
I don't know that.
No, okay. So who does that? That's a
Baby Come Back. That's
Baby Come Back. Yeah, and who wrote that?
Does that sound like was it Hall & Oates? Or
no. That was written by.
I don't know.
We're gonna rock down to electric.
Oh, Eddie Grant.
Yeah, every day. Eddie Grant wrote that. What was the name of the band? Yeah, he wrote that. He wrote that song.
I like Eddie Grant.
But I think she had a cover of that was on MTV that they played over and over. It's like early days of MTV where they didn't have a lot of videos. I think that was the song. Okay. We'll check next time.
We can
Here comes
give an update on our own information.
Well, maybe we'll find out.
Does that mean
right about
is that when management are they in charge of just putting that music that gives you the cue? Tell you that we've had enough. It's time for you guys to go.
Yo, is they going to shut the heat down now?
Yeah, is that what it says? You have 5 minutes before the lights go out.
Yeah, probably. Okay, thank you all for watching.
Thanks for listening.
We'll watch next week.